throw you a rock, hide your hand, working in the dark against your fellow man. But as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar, go and tell that midnight rider, tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So, Thursday, May 21, 2026, picking up sticks. Welcome back to GCTV. I'm your host, MV3 in the Rose City. You dig, you feel me? We're just at the gender-affirming Harcourt United Church for a little big one of Mike Shrina's Clown Hall. It's 25 after 6, so I'm on time today. Bye! I got my registration, so we'll see what happens here. Hello, how you doing?
Yes, and you? Are you back in Guelph? I'm back in Guelph. Yeah, and I'm working here. Oh, Harcourt. Yeah. Yeah. Are you staying for the? I'm not. I have to go. I'm here all day. But I'm
So we're just in the foyer. Hello, Barbara. Hi. How you doing?
Yes.
I'm your old tenant.
I know.
Nice to see you.
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I came for the party.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, where do I? Okay. Hello, everybody. How you doing today? So I registered, but I don't think you have to register. I'm just walking in. Oh, maybe it's right here. So, sorry guys.
Do you want to?
So affirming church. So there's bedroom flags everywhere. Mike Shrina, what up? Oh, another one. They're friggin' everywhere, man. Jesus left this place a long time ago. Oh, there's Q&A. Oh, there's a microphone. Uh-oh, better go. So, Harcourt United Church for the Clown Hall. This is for education too. This is for educational purposes. So this the bedroom flag crew. Up to nothing good. I'm not gonna really ruffle too many feathers. I'm trying to get through this civilly, peacefully, morally, and justifiably. But I have to rebuke this church, and I'm gonna ask everyone here to repent for their sins. Leading kids astray, there should be hell to pay. You dig, you feel me? So I don't know. It's 6:30. I think we're gonna get started shortly. I'm just gonna get settled in here. I'll catch you on the flip once I'm for your man. Peace.
GCTV.
Well, I'll start. I'm Mike Shriner, your VP for Guelph, and I'm the one who asked my team to organize today's town hall event, and it really stems from a few motivations. So first of all, as Lisa said, more and more students and parents, and I gotta say, one of the things I love about Guelph is we have a lot of very engaged students who are very good at advocating for themselves, who feel very comfortable coming into my office to advocate. And I love it, I really love it. And we're hearing a lot from students and parents who are really concerned about the fact that they're not receiving the services and resources they need to fully thrive in school. And I think especially was confirmed by the Auditor General's report that's come out in the last couple of weeks about just the challenges special education is facing in the province, that so many students are being sent home from school because there aren't enough adults there to care for them, there aren't enough resources, not enough funding, etc. I'm hearing increasingly from educators, and have been for a while now, really advocating for investments in public education. And we're seeing reports that have been really coming directly from education unions in particular. That vote, for example, has documented an 80% increase in violence in our schools. I'm talking elementary schools. OSSDF, same thing. Electa, the same. And just talking about the fact that educators are feeling overwhelmed. Class sizes are going up. The student needs are increasing. And the level of resources needed.
Kids are changing their genders, turning to cats
So one thing the government
and rabbits.
and they're right about this, but I want to put it in context. So oftentimes when I talk about we need more funding for education, the government says we're spending more money on education than we've ever spent in the entire history of Ontario. And so you can say that about almost anything. Because our population increases every year and inflation increases every year. And so by definition, pretty much every government spends the most money in the history of the province. So you could dig into those numbers. So we've seen since the current government was elected in 2018, we've seen a $180 per student decline in funding, which has amounted to an accumulated $6.4 billion cut to education. And so imagine what that looks like in schools. So when parents come to me and they talk about the fact that their child's independent education program doesn't meet their needs and there's an adult to actually make sure it meets their needs, it's because there's not funding for it. When students and parents come to me and talk about the increasing size of their classrooms, well, it's because there isn't funding for enough teachers and educational assistants to make sure those classrooms are at a smaller number of students. When people come to me and say their child was sent home from school because there wasn't anybody to take care of them, to educate them, it's because there isn't enough funding. And in some respects, especially for students with special needs, the Auditor General's report showed this, their right to a public education is being denied. And it's not because of the people who work on the front lines in schools. I'm being very clear about that. Because every educator I've met cares deeply about students, cares deeply about student achievement, goes way above and beyond the call of duty to make sure students receive the supports they need. And there just isn't enough resources. And so I oftentimes say I feel like our educators are holding our schools together with love and duct tape. And that duct tape is wearing thin right now. It is wearing thin. And that's one of the reasons you're starting to see increasing levels of absence among educators because they're burnt out, they're overworked, they're underpaid and underappreciated. And so I think we need to start having conversations in our communities about this. I know I've spoken and maybe you can all talk about this a little bit. I've had a lot of educators say, well, we don't want to talk about it because we don't want people to feel like our schools are in crisis. But I feel like if we don't start having community conversations about it, then how are we going to fix it? And so that's really what tonight is about, is to have a conversation, to hear directly from everybody in the audience about challenges you and your families are facing, and to have people who are on the front lines, who are experts, who work with educators each and every day, to talk about what it's like in schools. Because I think that's the first step in starting to build the kind of public support we need to invest in our kids, because they deserve it. And I want to close with two things. One is the Simcoe District School Board wrote a letter recently, and the Upper Grand District School Board supported that letter with their own letter, that not only are we underinvesting in our schools, but we're underinvesting in the community supports that support our children in schools. And so that's why I'm really happy to see the Canadian Mental Health Association here tonight, because a lot of it is around underinvestment in children's mental health. We have 28,000 young people on a wait list to access basic mental health services, and that wait list can be as long as 2.5 years. So imagine somebody with suicidal ideation waiting to access services, and it's because there's just not enough staff, not enough funding. And so the staff are working, again, above and beyond call of duty, but there just aren't enough resources, and that impacts our schools, because those challenges are brought into the schools. And the second thing I want to say is that one of the most fascinating meetings I had in the last 6 months was with the Mining Association. And they were talking about how much health and safety in mining has improved over the last few decades. And they were saying that they've seen an 80% increase compared to other sectors of our economy in workplace safety. I was like, this is great, because historically mining's been one of those dangerous occupations. And I asked them, well, what are your comparator occupations? And they're like, oh, nurses and teachers. I thought, what? Like, they go, oh yeah, they're getting more dangerous and we're getting less dangerous. And I just thought, so we want to cheer on the fact that mining is less dangerous, but it's pretty concerning that working as a teacher or a nurse is actually more dangerous than working as a miner now. And I think that tells you a lot about the need to have community conversations about how we fix our healthcare system. We'll have another night, but how we fix our education system, because our kids deserve it, and the adults who take care and educate our kids deserve it as well. So with that, I'm going to pass the microphone along.
GCTV.